All right, let's talk about one of the biggest hurdles for any future doctor, the MCAT. But today, we're looking at a totally new way to prep for it, with a study partner that's part tutor, part coach, and believe it or not, part storyteller. Okay, let's get into it.
For so many pre-med students, the MCAT isn't just a test. It feels like this giant, impossible wall. I mean, it's this incredibly high-stakes exam that packs years of science into a few hours under insane pressure. And while everyone's journey is a little different, there's one feeling that pretty much unites them all: anxiety. And this quote right here from a real student talking to an AI tutor, it just nails it. The student says it's not the clock ticking down or the format that's the real problem. The anxiety, the real stress, comes from the material, the sheer volume of stuff you have to know. To give you an idea of what that means, look at this number: 8. So what's that? That is the number of major topics in the MCAT physics section alone. We're talking mechanics, fluids, electricity, waves, optics. It's just a mountain of information. And that's only one section of the exam. So yeah, no wonder it feels like you're staring up at a mountain. So how in the world do you climb that mountain? Well, what if your tutor wasn't just a book or a stack of flashcards? What if it was a guide that could meet you right where you are, in that exact moment? This is where we're seeing a completely new kind of study partner show up, one that's designed to be dynamic and totally responsive. So instead of some rigid, one-size-fits-all plan, the conversation starts with, so how can I help you today? You feel like a quick pop quiz? Great. You want to go for the whole marathon and do a full practice test? Let's do it. Or maybe you just need to talk through what's stressing you out. The point is, you get to define the path, and then you get a response like this. I mean, how great is that? The AI makes a little mistake, and instead of some robotic reply, it says this. It's personable, it's a little quirky, it even makes fun of itself. That one little touch just completely lowers the tension. It turns a stressful test prep session into a real conversation. This personality is actually key to its main teaching method. And this is where things get really innovative. It's not just about firing facts at you. It's about taking that dense science and translating it into something memorable, something that's gonna stick when you're under pressure. It's all about the power of a good story. Okay, check this out. Here's a classic MCAT-style biology question taken straight from a real session. It's a tricky one. It's testing a very specific biological process. You've got a newborn baby, exposure to a virus, but the baby doesn't get sick. Why? Now, here's the correct by-the-book answer. It's got all the key words: passive immunity, IgG antibodies, placenta. It's 100% accurate, but for a student who's already feeling overwhelmed, this can just feel like a wall of jargon. It might not click. And that's what leads to this really important request. The student just hits a wall with the sciencey explanation and asks for something else. Can you give it to me in a story form? This is the pivot point. This is the game changer. Instead of just repeating the facts louder, the AI completely changes its approach. And here is the result. This is so cool. The AI reframes the entire concept as a story. The newborn baby is a tiny VIP at an exclusive nightclub. The rubella virus is some troublemaker trying to get in. And Mom's the bouncer, giving the baby the antibody pass that keeps the virus out. All of a sudden, passive immunity isn't just a term to memorize. It's a scene you can picture. It's unforgettable. Now, this isn't just about making things cute or fun. It's about building real, genuine understanding. But what happens when even a great story doesn't quite do the trick? Well, a truly personal tutor needs to be able to adapt, and then adapt again. And here you see that adaptability in real time. The AI tries to explain an author's cautiously optimistic tone using a story about a traveler. But the student's still not getting it, so the AI instantly pivots. It drops the story and switches to a direct, logical breakdown. It defines the key terms and explains exactly why the other answers are wrong. It has multiple ways to get you to that aha moment. And of course, there's this feeling, oh man, anyone who's ever studied for a big test has been here. You're frustrated, you're impatient, you're just stuck on a hard problem, and you just want the answer so you can move on.
we see this exact moment happen. But instead of just spitting out the answer, the AI does something much more valuable. It basically says, okay, I get it. Let's solve this together. And then it walks the student through the whole process, step by step. This is that whole teaching someone to fish thing, right? It's building the actual problem-solving skill, which is so much more important than just knowing one answer. So when you put all these pieces together, the conversational style, the storytelling, the way it adapts, the focus on process, you realize you're looking at something that's way more than just a practice test. You've got a personalized coach. Ultimately, an approach like this just changes the entire vibe of studying. That crushing anxiety starts to turn into curiosity. Rote memorization gets replaced by real understanding. And because you, the student, get to set the pace in this completely non-judgmental space, you have the freedom to struggle, to learn, and eventually to really succeed. And while we're looking at this through the lens of the MCAT, you can probably see how this whole framework, this idea of a responsive, story-driven guide, has massive potential. It's an approach that could scale from the most basic concepts all the way up to the most advanced professional learning. At the end of the day, it's pointing to a new vision for what test prep and maybe even education itself could be. It's not about forcing every single learner down the exact same path. It's about creating a tool that's personalized, that uses stories to make things stick, and that is fundamentally built for you. And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. What if this kind of support wasn't some rare thing? What if every student at every level had a coach that knew how to listen, how to adapt, and how to turn the hard work of learning from a total chore into a genuine journey of discovery? That's the potential we're looking at right here.